New York Knicks insider James Edwards has revealed why Tom Thibodeau has been reluctant to play young rookie standout Ariel Hukporti over Jericho Sims, who's been with the Knicks for a few years now and has not had his best showing. And we're going to break this all down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. And we're going to jump right into the video, as always. But also, real quick, make sure to subscribe to the channel. 29% of viewers are subscribed. Let's get that up. And also leave a comment down below if you think Jericho Sims or Ariel Hukporti should be the Knicks backup center. Which one are you going with? I'll also put a poll out on the community post so you guys can check that out. But, guys, here's the deal. Ariel Hukporti has stood out as a great center for the New York Knicks and as a promising rookie who has a good future as a rim protector and has a nice little offensive game to him. Obviously, I show this clip all the time of Hukporti dunking all over Evan Mobley. Yeah, it was called for an offensive foul, but it was an absolute BS call. Everyone knows it was not an actual offensive foul, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? Whatever. Ariel Hukporti has shown out when he gets the minutes to do so. And many fans have been wondering why Hukporti is not getting the minutes over Jericho Sims. And Sims, well, it's not that he's been playing terribly as of recently, but his play was slow to start the season, and it still feels like going with Ariel Hukporti is the better option because he has more of a touch on offense. But, and also, he's an elite shot blocker too, it looks like. But the Knicks, and more specifically head coach Tom Thibodeau, have been reluctant to do so. And Knicks insider James Edwards broke down why that is. And when discussing it, he said that Tom Thibodeau isn't a coach who's going to throw players under the bus or criticize them publicly. He's sure Hukporti knows what he needs to do to consistently take Jericho Sims' minutes, but that feels like something Tom Thibodeau will keep between him, Sims, and Hukporti. Now, on top of this, when it comes to rookies specifically, what Edwards has learned is that coaches don't exactly like when players mess up the team's foundational principles, and Ariel Hukporti has missed a few times on one of the team's basic defensive concepts. For example, Hukporti is supposed to ice pick and rolls and hasn't been doing that in his limited minutes so far. And for those unfamiliar with the ice term, Edwards broke it down. It's essentially just a defensive concept designed to take away penetration to the middle of the floor. In short, you want to force the ball handler towards the baseline. Hukporti has not done that occasionally, and it's a non-negotiable for the coach. Now, for anyone who's still kind of confused with what that means, essentially, it's the same thing as drop coverage, basically. So when someone sets a screen, when the big man sets a screen and there's the guard, Hukporti and all the Knicks, well, the Knicks are what you're supposed to do is drop down. Don't really hedge it. You can play some help defense if there's another guy on the side, but you don't really hedge it. You play drop coverage and you protect the rim, so the big man just backs off and goes to the paint. But at the same time, they have to go more towards the middle. They shift more towards the middle to cut off the player from essentially faking using the screen, then going the opposite direction and having a wide open lane to the paint. That's essentially just what icing a screen is. If that doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to explain it. But that's really all that it is. Instead of switching or coming up and trying to guard the ball handler, the center just drops back down to the low block and kind of goes into the paint a bit so they can have a really, really good chance at preventing any open lanes to the rim. So the ball handler has to go more towards the sideline where it's easier to trap them, and Tom Thibodeau likes to trap in defenses, and then the center sometimes might come out, but usually it's to prevent a roll from a screen or it's to prevent the guard or the ball handler in the situation not getting a clear open lane to the paint. Now, Hukporti has not done that exactly. Hukporti's been more apt to switching and to showing that he can play perimeter defense and just hedging more, and hedging's just like kind of jumping up and stopping the player from the ball handler from really going anywhere and just making it seem like it's going to be a switch until the initial person who's guarding the ball handler, so Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, one of them is usually there can return. So Hukporti or whatever big man it is, whether it's Towns or Jericho Sims or maybe Mitchell Robinson, when he's back, they could all just then drop back down to the paint. Now, here's the thing. If you're not going to do exactly what Tom Thibodeau asks, Tom Thibodeau is not going to be a fan of you. He likes his team to run how his team runs. He wants them to do exactly the way he designs plays. He wants the Knicks on defense to know the scheme and play the scheme exactly correctly. And since Ariel Hukporti has not 100% of the time been doing this, it's upset Tibbs, and it makes Tibbs roll with someone in Jericho Sims who has been playing for the Knicks now. This is year 4 for Jericho Sims. He knows Tom Thibodeau's scheme, and he's going to get it right. Hukporti's been on the Knicks for a few months and has been playing games for the Knicks, not counting Summer League. He's been playing games with Tom Thibodeau as his head coach for literally less than a month. He's still getting adapted to the system and to playing in the NBA, and once he does, we'll probably see him take Jericho Sims' minutes. Now, Edwards also discussed something else here, mentioning that Hukporti has brought great energy when he plays. He runs the floor hard. He's got a good knack for blocking shots. There have been a lot of good flashes. However, Edwards does believe that Thibodeau wants him first and foremost to make sure that he has all the foundational stuff down. And I'll be honest, guys, I respect Tom Thibodeau for doing that. That's fair. Look, if you want to go with who knows your system, that is respectable, especially when Hukporti's a rookie and Jericho Sims has been there for a while. Now, the thing is, Jericho Sims has not exactly played his best basketball this season. He's gotten better as the season's gone along. He had a really slow start, but it feels like he's getting better. His offensive rebounding and just rebounding in general looks pretty good. I don't love what he brings on the offensive end, and he's not really there to be an offensive player, but he doesn't really bring much of anything on offense, which is kind of upsetting when you have a guy like Hukporti, I'm going to show it again, who can put the ball on the floor, blow past Jared Allen, and then dunk on Evan Mobley. I mean, I've seen enough. Like, just from that alone, it's like, yeah, that is someone you want to have out on the court. But there's more to that than just what goes on, as when you look at the per 36 numbers, Ariel Hukporti leads the Knicks in blocks per game with 4.2. Jericho Sims is second at 1.1. Now, Sims does average more rebounds and points, so fairness. Jericho he looks better as the season's gone along, don't get me wrong, but Hukporti's played in such a limited minutes, it's really hard to figure out exactly who Hukporti is and what he's down to do. But when Karl Anthony Towns was injured the first game of the Knicks-Nets back-to-back little doubleheader, sort of. I guess there was a day in between. But still, the Knicks and Nets back-to-back games against each other. Karl Anthony Towns was out the first one, and look who got more minutes. Ariel Hukporti came in and played better than Jericho Sims. I mean, he went out there, went 3 for 5 from the field, had 7 points and 4 blocks and 4 rebounds with 3 assists. I mean, his passing looks beautiful. It's reminiscent of Hartenstein's passing. I wonder why. They're both, black, German, number 55 on the New York Knicks. And on top of that, I mean, hey, he went out there and blocked 4 shots. Like, that's absurd. He did that in 30 minutes of action. He showed that he knows how to get to the free throw line. He showed that he's comfortable scoring and shooting down low. He's kind of shown an adaptability to be okay sitting on that mid-range perimeter area, too. And if he gets an open look, he'd probably want to fire away. We saw him shoot threes in Summer League. We saw him shooting jump shots. The guy does have a jump shot. We're going to see if he goes to use it. But Hukporti did look good in this time. There's a reason why he played the most minutes of any Knick big man that game, or really just between him and Jericho Sims. It would not be surprising if Hukporti by the end of the season is getting more minutes than Jericho Sims. Hukporti is someone who is going to be a long-term piece for the New York Knicks. He's right now on a contract that has basically one team option year left before he becomes an unrestricted free agent. I'm telling you right now, the Knicks are going to decline that team option and sign Ariel Hukporti to a 3-year bargain contract. And then the following year, Hukporti, we're going to see him as a backup center for the New York Knicks. I truly believe they want to get this guy on a bargain deal because they know he's about to break out once they start giving him minutes, and they want to get him on a bargain deal. They did that with Deuce McBride. Right before he got minutes, they gave him that bargain contract. Deuce makes $2 million a year, and I mean, guys, Deuce McBride puts up these numbers: 11 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 38% from 3, 44% from the field, elite perimeter defense. And the New York Knicks, I guarantee you, they're trying to pull that off again. They're in a tough salary cap situation, so they want to find a way to keep the Hukporti secret going, so they also don't have to use any leverage from... They don't want Hukporti and his agent to have any leverage when they negotiate a bargain contract. And honestly, it's a great move by the New York Knicks. I just want to see Hukporti play anyway, but I understand it is the right move. I got to show it one more time. I mean, I know I show it all the time, but dude, come on. I want to see it so bad. I'm a big part of the Hukporti hive, and I cannot wait to see where the New York Knicks plan to go with him, but I do think he is a long-term future plan as the Knicks backup center over guys like Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims and potentially even Mitchell Robinson. And we're going to see how that goes, and we are going to report on it when we find that out in months to years. So subscribe, like this video, turn on post notifications, leave a comment on your Ariel Hukporti thoughts and prayers down below because, well, I just want to see the man play basketball, and I'm praying that he does. Guys, have a great day, and go Knicks, and go Ariel Hukporti. Hukporti Hive season!